Hello everybody. Today we are gonna see uh, what is a compiler, what are preprocessors and linkers, and we are going to talk in the perspective of C++. So everybody knows what a compiler is. Whenever you write a program, you compile it and it performs the action whatever you have coded. So for a normal program, this is the cycle. You write a program, you compile it. So what runs behind is a linker that um, creates all the object files, and a linker that links all of these objects so that your code can run. And finally, we test it. And if we find any errors or we want to rerun it or rewrite it, so we debug it and the cycle goes on. So let's see about compiler. So what a compiler does is whenever you write a program, it converts the code into a machine language instruction. So basically the object file. So sorry for my handwriting. So it generates object files. So this object files contains the metadata about your program. So uh, also the compiler checks if uh, the code follows the rules of C++ standards, and it will give various type of errors based on the code. And for each file you get an object file. So for example, if you have three cpp files, you get three object files. If you have four, then you get four object files, and so on. So this is the general format of a compiler. So before compiling, there is also a phase known as pre-processing phase. So there is a program preprocessor which changes our code. So basically, for example, if we have this simple code in which we take the IO stream and we just see out and see in some numbers. So you can see here the code is really short, right? But whenever we have to compile it, so what is done is the preprocessor changes the text of the code file. So what it does is it will the and it happens in the temporary file. So all of the functions and all of the properties in IOStream will get embedded in the same file and it will run at once. So this is what the preprocessor does. So here you can see the preprocessor does have very important role. It processes all the hash include directives. So here we have only IOStream, but whatever includes we have, it brings all of the functionality from all of these libraries and runs in the same file. And also this is done in a temporary file, or it can also be done in the memory. So whenever the preprocessor finish finish the processing the file, it creates a translation unit, and that translation unit is then compiled by the compiler. So all of the process of pre-processing, compiling and linking, it is also known as translation. So before translation, let's see what a linker does. So after compiling, we will have various types of, for example, if we have three CPU files, we have three object files. So now what a linker will do is, for example, if one of our file one, has some uh, dependency on file 2, and file 2 has some dependency of file 3. So all the object files that are created by compiling, all of the objects will be different, right? So the linker will link the functions that are used in F2 from F3. This will create a link, and whatever functions F1 is using from F2, it will link here. So this is how a linker works. So what the linker does is ensures each object file is valid and also checks that all the cross dependencies are resolved properly. So once the linking process is right, once the linking process is right, you will get a run executable file that you can run. So, but the linking has to be correct. Many a times you will get a linkage error problem. So that means whenever you have dependency on other files, there is some error when you what you're doing with that. Now we will see some ID options that we generally have, but people don't know what exactly they mean. So the first and foremost option is build. So whatever the modified files you have, it converts them into an executable file. Also, there is an option clean. So what clean does is whatever the cache data you have, the objects and executables, all of them are removed and you freshly start the system. Rebuild For rebuild, the clean and build are performed. For compilation, it compiles the code file and there is no linking, as you know that linking process is different. Start. So whatever the last executable file you have, it executes that file. So this is what the start option does. And this is the flow of the program. So you have a source file which has a dependency on some header file. So the compiler creates an object file. The linker also has the capability to bring in the linkage from the libraries, and after creating all the links, it creates an executable file. So this is the total flow of how your program runs. Thank you, and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you.